Okay, finished filing all the edges on the skis, base and side edges. Unfortunately, these are brand new skis, but there was some gouges in the base edges. This ski up here and back here, and there's nothing I can do about it at those points unless I was to regrind the ski. Now it's a brand new ski, so I'd rather see it skied on for a season, and maybe it'll hit a big old rock or something like that, and then maybe we can consider regrinding it. But when I regrind the ski, I will have a structure ground into it with the Wintersteiger grinder, for example. That'll make it run a little better on wet snow than the structure that it currently has, which is what I kind of call, I don't know the technical name for it, but I call it a silk. It's a very mild grind. It's definitely not for super wet snow, set up for ground for wet snow. But at any rate, that's as good as it's going to get. So what I'm going to do is now we filed everything off. Now we move on to stones. Now I showed you the side edge and how we do that already, so I'm not really going to go over that again. I've showed how to file the base edge as well, but I'll show you some stone on the base edge. But this is the guide I use that I showed you before for filing, and it's the same guide you use with your diamond stones. And it's placed in here like so, and you can put it in going this way. Okay, you can put it in going that way. You can put it in a little shallow, whatever you want. But pretty much you're working on a ski edge, and it's got a little bit of a curve to it. So we generally don't want to work with our stone out flat like this. We want it just sticking up a little bit on one sort of corner. And of course, naturally, as you work a stone a while, it gets a little more worn in one place, so you'll move it a little bit. And it might depend on the side edge of the ski too, how far you can come in and out with this. And one ski you might be able to run it out there, and in another ski it might hit the binding or something. So anyway, that's the side of Beast Machine and how you work your stones in there. So I'm gonna, because I've already filed the side edges, I'm going to go ahead and start stoning. Now when we're stoning, we're using a solution here, okay? And we're constantly keeping our stone wet. We're going to start with, these are Moonflex stones. I'm going to start with a 100. That's very coarse, but that's what we're going to start with. When you're using your stones, you're listening more than anything. You feel it with your fingers. You listen. Stroke it a little bit. Dip your tool. Clean it. Plenty of fluid when you're polishing. A lot of fluid. Now, the little juice bottles you can buy from people are really good to use when you're using diamond stones. But if you're doing a large volume of skis, it gets a little spendy. So you can make your own solution. There's different things that people use. I don't want to act like it's some big secret or something, but like I say, the juices you can buy are really good to use with your stones. But when you're doing a volume, you could just use straight up water, but it doesn't work as well as something that you can use to reduce the surface tension of the water itself. Helps keep the stone clean. Okay, now keeps the cutting action moving, stops the stone from clogging up. You can either use a few drops of soap, like lemon dish soap if you want, in your water, but I prefer denatured alcohol, which can be bought at most hardware stores. I buy it by the gallon. Mix it approximately 50-50 with water. Won't damage the base of your skis. It's used as a cleaner for glass and metal. Aside from, it's camp stove fuel. It's denatured alcohol though. Do not use rubbing alcohol. Denatured alcohol is what you use. Okay, now I've come over this with the 100, And I don't know if you can hear that now. Got a pretty decent microphone set up here. And you could hear in the beginning it was pretty rough sounding up here at this tip. Now it's smoothed out considerably. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to take one of these lint-free wipers. Sometimes I'll use a paper towel here. Not the end of the world. We're not waxing right now. So, and you can see all the, you know, the black. All the black you get. Well, that black, that just means your stone's cutting. You know, and you might be cutting a little bit into your Electroglide black base even a little bit. Don't worry about it. Okay? Yeah. Teeny bit of that, it's not going to kill you. Okay? Better to have a consistent base bevel all the way down your ski than to worry about touching the PTEX a little bit, okay? As long as you don't dive into it, you know, too far, everything will be fine. So, when I do my base edges, I just leave the ski this way, and like I was trying to show you with the file, I was having a hard time keeping the ski locked in at that time. When you're polishing your edges, it doesn't matter to what direction you're going. You want to go all forward or all backwards, or as you can see, I'm going back and forth, and that's fine. Okay? And I'm listening. I'm feeling it through my fingertips, the rough spots. I'm keeping my stone lubed consistently. Plenty of fluid. A lot of fluid. You're feeling it. The good 100 grit or 120 grit Beast Diamond stone will not take too many strokes. Hear that? To work that out. Remember I talked a little bit about the speed factor when you're filing. Is you got to get confident to use that, but the same thing goes with the stones. Instead of just going real slow like this with a little pressure, once you start working it down now and you feel confident, you've got your grip, okay, now you're going to press much harder and you're going to go much faster, and you will feel it under your fingers what's happening. Now it's coming out. Now the striations from filing are coming out. Am I going to work a little more into the PTEX when I'm doing all this? Of course I am, because I'm removing material, you know. But again, the ski becomes real base high, or, you know, too wandery. The base can be reground, at which point these base bevels can then be redone, and actually the ski will be even better than it came from the factory. A lot of times when a ski cures, in other words, after it's, you know, made and it's gone through all these heat processes and everything, after the ski cures, it can warp a little bit. So if it's excessive, you know, there's no grinder that's gonna pull out a giant concavity, you know, on your ski, because the base material is so thin. You know, there's only so much you can do right there. Now, if you're talking about some, you know, World Cup race ski, okay, those are made to a higher degree of fanciness than your, you know, your consumer ski, okay? This ski was a $650 retail ski, okay?